Greetings and salutations, I'm Kev. Welcome back to this Let's Play of City Skylines, Circle City Roundabout now. And we've just come out of a time skip, and I kind of decided I had to go out of the time skip now because we're approaching a small milestone. Population has now increased quite a bit, and we're about to cross the first 100,000. And I kind of wanted that on tape. Now, let's see, beyond that... I'm just going to refresh the names. They seem to disappear on occasion. I'm not quite sure why. So just enter one of them and they all refresh. We're about to hit on 100,000 citizens. I don't think we're ever going to hit 1 million, as I mentioned earlier. Don't even know if that's possible. But yeah, I'm going to keep building until we fill in the map at the very least. Speaking of things I've been doing, quite a bit actually. The first thing I did was to finish the whole Harbor Island, and I basically set up a whole the whole airport here, both the normal airport and the international one, and it took forever to just shape this island and flatten the terrain down. And I have to say, I've certainly taken a liking to the smooth terrain, softened terrain tool. That worked. I don't know what the heck this tool does, level terrain. Whenever I use it, it just digs a huge pit in the ground, and that's not really what I'm after when I'm trying to level terrain. And when I click and drag, nothing happens. So I don't know if I'm using this tool horribly wrong on something. No matter. But at least softening terrain, that worked. It's a pretty slow tool, but it does flatten things. Let's see, other things we've done. Well, we have, I believe, changed the road system. Basically put all the highways underground. I also connected to the outside world the rail lines and reshuffle those, and all underground so that they don't obstruct topside things. Yeah, but when I built this, obviously I had to tear down the coastal fortifications and those kind of relics. Just how it goes. Can't let history stand in the way of progress. So we filled in this with a little panda sanctuary, among other things. That was one of the few places where I could actually fit it because that's a huge structure. I also kept working on the mountain, making more Swiss cheese out of it and trying to, well, create room for some roads and stuffs. So that's basically what we've been doing there. I've also expanded here. I've been trying to grow the city bit by bit, so that we don't have that massive death spiral thingy bob. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That, and of course fleshing out more roads. Don't recall if I finished these spaghettis last time. I know I finished this one. I don't think I finished this one last time we spoke, and definitely not this one. As you can see, I'm trying to do some underground abouts and connect that in that way. Much the same way I'm doing over here. It's basically one extra roundabout there, and all the road networks connect to that, and then from that you go onto the highway. And I also try to do the same thing over here. But I'll say this, trying to create a roundabout below ground in an slopey terrain mass, it is incredibly difficult because these roads will always try to be a certain level beneath the topside surface, so if this surface is sloped, you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to create a proper flat circle. So this mess of a structure is the closest thing I could get to a proper connection. But at least this does mean that you can go from this road here, and you can go in any direction on the highway, and you can also exit from the highway, which you couldn't before. But it took quite a while to get this properly connected, because it's so difficult to do that beneath ground, and of course also beneath another tunnel and surface roads. Ugh. Yeah, and I should also mention that traffic has definitely begun clogging up, which shouldn't surprise anyone. I mean, we have 100,000 citizens almost, but we still have no mass transit except one train that goes in a little square like that. That's the only mass transit we have that's actually operational. So, yeah. We do now start to see a fair bit of queuing. See if I can find them. Usually there are queues on these roads, not now at the moment. It looks like it's mostly clear right now. Over here it's always gridlock hour. Let it run and it'll probably be a bit more visible. No, it isn't as gridlocky as I expected to be. Why are you waiting? Oh, okay, since I just reloaded, apparently there's some kind of graphics glitch, so half the cars are gone. Or they're invisible. Look at it, see? Yeah, they're invisible. They're here, but you can't actually see them. I assume that's because I just reloaded. That explains why we couldn't see all those queues that I kind of expected to see. Not transport, traffic, there we go. There we go. Just let it run a little bit and we'll start seeing the queues I mentioned. So yeah. And there we go, 100,000 citizens, or Sims. And we built on about, I don't know, half the map? About? Of course we're gonna dense up the city a bit, but I don't think we simply won't have room to hit 1 million. It's okay though, I think we have quite the city nonetheless. And you can't actually see it, but there's a full queue here as well. And this is probably one of the most gridlockier situations, which is kind of strange. It's not a highway system at all. It's just that they're very keen on driving here, and I built a ton of high-density residences here. And they kind of need mass transit in order to handle traffic. This one has become populated, oddly enough. Took them long enough. This escape route into the highway, unfortunately, is still very much underutilized. I have a feeling I know why now. And that's because the trains that show up from the external side are on this one, right? So when they exit, they will always go down this route. They'll never cross the road and go this way, initially. It applies to almost any type of road as far as I can tell. Which is a bit strange. But that's certainly what it looks like. So they'll always drive out and then try to hit the highway down here, in this chaos. And now you can see how the streets clog up. Shouldn't surprise anyone. So, I don't know. Should I start building a mass transit network? Should I keep doing this? I mean, at some point the city is basically going to choke on itself because of the obnoxious traffic. Roundabouts are doing their job. They are handling quite a lot of traffic and keeping things moving for the most part, with the exception when you have that little four-sided deadlock which you have in the smaller ones. You won't have that in the larger roundabouts, as far as I can tell, but you will have that four-sided deadlock in these. So maybe you shouldn't use these after all. Because even with the yielding rules, they don't actually yield. They don't yield to traffic that already exists in the roundabout, sadly. They only yield for the traffic in the last bit of road, and that's not sufficient for a roundabout to function the way it should. So yeah, there's that. So my initial thought of using on-ramps as a roundabout system, it isn't the best. Ideally, I would have wanted to use a two-lane road, but then I get the whole zoning issue. Though I could get around that too. We did spot that earlier. As long as you build the circle itself last, right? No, all the way around actually. Circle first and then the attachment roads. Because the last road takes the housing plots, wasn't that why? I forget. I haven't rebuilt this one to the type like that. Simply because this one was already established and I already had the on and off ramps on either side, so I was afraid of ruining my chances of actually setting the whole thing up. So I think I'm going to keep this. Some more conventional cloverleaf. Now these things work. They aren't that widely used yet, but because I haven't zoned a lot of things nearby. But it is a bit of a strange design, but it does work. Just go in on the highway roundabout there, and out wherever they want to. I could use some time to try to straighten these roads, because sharp corners like this does slow down traffic. But it's just gonna be a pain, so that's why I'm delaying that. This one was much worse since it is in a corner, and it has only one exit point. Which is kind of sad, but I couldn't really fit anything better here. All I'm trying to do is connect the highway system to the surface in as many ways as possible. So there are 2 connection points here and here to the highway, the end point there, and this point here. And I'll connect another on-off ramp system over here, and we also have an on-off ramp here. That should give the people plenty of opportunity to connect to the highway in this section of town. And they'll need it. So, after all that, I basically have to ask, should I be allowed to build mass transit at this point? Trams and buses and more trains? That's up to you. So, you'll have to let me know in the comments. Should I now start constructing mass transit, or should I just keep going and see how clogged up we can make the city? I mean, it is quite clogged up as it is. Still functions. But yeah, here we see one of those deadlock situations by the look of things. I'm not sure what you yielded to, though. Oh yes, of course, this is a one-way road. So you're yielding to citizens. There we go, you exit. Now you're waiting for... Oh, good lord. So you're trying to go where? I wish I had the traffic mod now. All the tools for... There we go, now you went. I wish I had the tools for... That's upcoming mass transit, where you can actually click on the vehicles and see where they're trying to go. Could be useful here. Oh, they are going around in the circle. It just takes a while. This one looks larger. Is it larger? No. It isn't, is it? No, it's not. Oh, this is a two-way street. Okay. And it probably should remain a two-way street, because that's that way the traffic can exit here and get out of the roundabouts as fast as possible. And onto the wider roads, yeah. Here's a train, come on, let me see. Train! Ah. Let me click the train, there we go. Yep, completely full. So the one train we do have is quite popular. Okay, what's here? Yeah, okay, though we do have buildings out here. It was so dark. I'm starting to wonder, hey, did I zone things here? Yeah, I did. Just can't see much at night, sadly. So yeah, city is definitely in need of more growth, and I think it's time to give them some. Let's see now. I did zone out a few areas here. Pine Drive is now a timber industry zone, and Moria up here is going to be a mining zone. I'm not going to build the mines until the very end. Same with the oil deposits down this way and over here, because that's basically because those resources will eventually drain out, and I just want to build most of the city before I start expanding, ruining my resources. That said, we can at least keep expanding in this direction over here, which we are going to do, I think. But what are we going to expand here though? Because the need for heavy industry is certainly growing, and we do need to set up some more incinerators. And we have very little incineration capacity on this side of town. I think the closest one is over here. Yeah. So we can definitely need some of those here. We can easily fit them in the mining region afterwards, that's fine. But I do think the Asha's corner here is going to be an industrial area. Which is kind of dumb, since we don't really have a train terminal down there. I did build new train terminals. Oh, I was wrong. I do have a cargo terminal right here. And then a railway train station there. This one is already connected, by the way, to the other cargo train stations, so it does accept goods. So, okay, yeah, sure. Well, let's build this up to an industrial area. Just need to get there first. So we'll build some more high density zoning on the way. And we probably need a bit of commercial so that we don't kill our scientists, our citizens, rather. Something like that. Little pollution buffer. And the rest of that is going to be industry. Conventional industry at that. Now, where was the closest highway connection? Well, they can enter the highway system by going down here and onwards there, or drive down here, and then through there. We'll see what happens. And I just want to verify that I built pipes all the way. Not all the way, but almost. So I'll finish that. There we go. And you know what, let's crank up speed. Let them build up that before we zone further. As for services, I haven't looked at that for a while, by the way. Let's see. Electricity, we're good on that. Heating is fine. Water and power, that's fine. Right, we did want to build more incinerators. Problem here is that a lot of these roads are avenues, and they're kind of bad for that. Hey, what do you know? Fire tower. We're gonna move that. We're gonna move that all the way over here. Because we do want it to check the forest outside the city. You know what, let's plant a few incinerators on this tree. Or maybe not, wait a second. Given that rail line there, it would be nice to have a park. Oh, you can't build on that side. Never mind then, let's build a park. Sure, there. A lovely park right next to the garbage incinerators. Sounds like the match made in heaven. Why are you unhappy? I'm trying to create a power source for you guys. You should be thrilled. I'm gonna build 2 more of them. Actually, they'll pollute a fair bit. But what's their pollution range? And remember. I will find out. Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that. Oh my goodness. That was a sneeze. That was quite the sneeze. Ugh. Sometimes those just sneak up on me, so I don't have time to mute the mic, so I apologize about that. Now get some garbage so you can produce electricity and satisfy all these people. I mean, there will be a power gap here. Eventually. Yeah, and I also started to build a bit on the whole mountain here. Zeke's Peak, that's what it's gonna be called. And of course it should have had more bendies, but that's all the bendy we're gonna make in this city, I'm afraid, except the roundabouts. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with low density for the most of this mountain. So the rich people can go and live there, I suppose, in their mansions. Though they might not like it, I don't know, we'll see. The problem with this mountain is that since we have such an unorthodox road network, and since services do not cross the footpaths, which really annoys me. Park services, at the very least, should cross footpaths, but they don't. So yeah, I'm kind of annoyed by that. So it's kind of difficult to make them happy and give them all the services they need, because these roads are a bit unorthodox. For example, this one is connected all the way down here, so services have to go all the way up this long bridge before they actually service the people. And given my roundabout needs, I can't really connect this one easily to the rest of the network. Well, I could, but I'd have to do a lot of flattening terrain here, and that's why I haven't done that. So we'll see, maybe this is actually not going to be the rich district then, but the poor people living on the mountain. It looks like at least this area has zoned up properly. Now I wanted to check pollution. These are now active. Let me go and look at the other facilities. They're here. And they range 1, 2, 3, 3.5 buildings or so. So 1, 2... Yeah, well it will be... That's good. These guys aren't going to be sick. This is going to be a very polluted corner, but who cares? Yeah, let's look at park services. I mean, that's usually what they complain about, and, well, can't say it is without a reason. It's just that over here it's kind of difficult to place good parks. The terrain is so wonky in many places. Can I build one here? And this is my go-to park, I'll give it that much. Most parks are 5 by 5 squares, and that irks me because of since the game basically goes by 4 by 4 squares for all the standard buildings, you're gonna build a road grid around that, and that makes it difficult to fit in these large parks, which are just too large, and that's why the Japanese park is so perfect, because it's 4 by 4 squares, so it goes into all these little niche places, right? And then you have the mega parks, like the park with trees. Where is it? There it goes. That one is a bloody nightmare to place anywhere. And ideally I wanted to place it like that. Normally I would. Unfortunately it's impossible for me here because I use roundabouts. So... Then again, this road, this way it's actually 12 by... Yeah, 12 by 13 squares, that's what this thing actually is. A bloody monster of a park. And even the plazas are a bit... ill-aligned.
You're listening to the classics, and I've just got some mail from one of our listeners, Todd H. Why did Johann Sebastian Bach throw out his harpsichord? Because it was Baroque.
There we go, they did want a basketball cart here.
Bach loved his harpsichord and would never have thrown it out. as it would have almost certainly been dismantled and used as firewood by the countless peasants of Leipzig. Anywho,
need to build a few more.
you're listening.
Okay, so the timber industry also requires more parks.
Don't fix it.
Oh, come on. You're cutting down trees. Why would you want another park with more trees if you're not going to cut it down? Then again, maybe that's exactly why they want the park. So they get more raw material. Nonetheless, I'm going to give them a park over here. And I will need to make a park up here as well. Yeah, that's fine. Let's build one there. I mean, we do want to make him happy. Or happier. And I've tried my best to build parks. Yeah, this annoys me. It's so difficult to give park access to these guys. Isn't there a small playground anywhere? There we go. Small playground sounds nice. I'm gonna put it where it's the most red. That would be over... Yeah, actually, let's build it there. And in these examples, I really would like the footpath here to spread that park influence over here. It really should, in my opinion. Ah, well. Okay, I'm going to take a break here. I'm probably going to build a little bit further and get a few more citizens in before I do another time skip. So we'll see how many people we can dense up this city with. Okay, time for a break. Thank you for watching.